To begin of our ceremony, the choir will perform Gaude Mater Polonia. Thank you. Please be sitting. Ladies and gentlemen, here we come together for the graduation ceremony for the 2016-2022 class. Therefore, I would like to warmly welcome the representative of the rectoral authorities of our university, the Vice Rector for Foreign Affairs, Professor Marta Mendel. I would also like to welcome our many distinguished guests, Second Secretary and Consul of the Embassy of Ireland in Poland, Mr. Dominic Berkeley. Former Dean of our faculty and Vice Rector of our university, Professor Marian Binek. Director of Institute of Economics and Finance, Professor Mariusz Maciejczak. Representatives of International Medicine Studies, a leading specialist agency for prospective undergraduates in veterinary medicine in Central Europe, Ms. Margita Hubkova, and Mr. Haim Arbif. Co-host of our ceremony, Director of the Institute of Veterinary Medicine, Professor Marcin Bańbura. Vice Director of the Institute of Veterinary Medicine for Education Affairs, Professor Magdalena Chłopecka. Vice Director of the Institute of Veterinary Medicine for Scientific Affairs, Professor Tomasz Satkowski. Representative of the Center of Translational Medicine, Professor Romuald Zabielski. Members of Scientific Council of the Institute of Veterinary Medicine, as well as members of the Program Council of the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. I would also like to welcome invited teachers, Mrs. Agnieszka Wójcik, Mrs. Beata Mrs. Małgorzata Zawadka. Professor Anna Cywińska. And Dr. Maria Makowiecka. Is she present? And pani dr Joanna Zarzyńska. Above all else, I would like to welcome our graduates and their families and friends who came to us from all over the world, since this is your celebration. Now allow me to share a few words. Mrs. Rector, distinguished guests, a formal issuing of diplomas in our faculty, it's tradition. During the last few years of our studies, multiple world-shaping events played out. Firstly, our lives have been shaken by the global pandemic, which for a moment disrupted our university's functioning. Now, millions of lives in the Ukraine have become upturned by the cruelty of war. When I was a child, I used to dream of the orderly 21st century ruled by reason and supported by advanced technology. As a fan of science fiction literature, I used to imagine a world free of disease, one inhabited by happy humankind living in peace and driving flying cars. Unfortunately, it turned out that despite technology, often indistinguishable from magic, not much has changed since antiquity. I can say this because as an anatomist, I am still somewhat anchored to the ancient world, most noticeable by the continued use of Latin and Greek nomenclature. As you remember, Latin nomenclature scares students of the first year. We have not yet eradicated the vast majority of diseases, but new ones have already joined their ranks. We have not solved the world's socio-economic problems. New conflicts keep exploding in different regions. And to add insult to injury, the flying cars still aren't there. Despite all that, I'm also noticing some positives. One such positive is that we keep trying to better our world. And this very desire is the ultimate cause of today's ceremony. The people from all over the world have gathered to celebrate the efforts of our graduates. The tradition of formally awarding graduation diplomas should not be considered a farewell, as we do not wish to cut ties with you. It should be understood as a day when the older colleagues pay their respects to younger ones and welcome them into the professional life. So, we welcome you in professional life. It can be linked to a tribal rite of passage, something that has been an important part of all cultures since the dawn of humankind. That marks a person's transition between childhood and full inclusion into a tribe or social group. While the academic songs and costumes differ from the ones commonly considered tribal, the idea beneath it is all stayed largely the same. Nevertheless, there are many hopes and expectations on both sides. You hope to realize your goals, both personal and professional, while we hope they will come true in 100%. I apologize for addressing independent adults like that, but in a way we treat you as our own children. for whose future we can care about very much. For 5.5 years, we have been trying to pass on to you the knowledge and practical skills that will be the foundations of your professional future. I have no doubts that these foundations will continue to be strengthened by the knowledge gained during various internships and by the experience gained in work. In the course of your studies, there have been uplifting moments, and there have also been funny moments. You probably remember, dear colleagues, I can say dear colleagues, the frantic pace of comparative anatomy exams and the famous, tenderously announced comment, change the table. Many people ask us why we were doing this. The answer is simple. It's quite simple. The generational relay must go on, and our task was to prepare you so that in the future we also could hear from you change. And we have the satisfaction that we are putting the course of affairs in good hands. I am now aware that we have also learned much from you. We had the opportunity to learn about other cultures and to see ourselves through your eyes. I would like to thank you for your insights. They made me look at the surrounding reality in a new light. For instance, last week we had some snowfall and freezing temperatures. Normally I would complain about the weather, but thanks to some of you, I found out that Poland has a very friendly and nice climate. Especially if you compare it to, for example, Saskatoon in Canada. Once again, thank you very much for offering us the opportunity to improve ourselves. I wish you all the best of luck in your lives, both professional and otherwise. Thank you. Thank you once again. Now I would like to give a warm welcome to Vice Rector, Professor Mendel.
Dear Dean, dear members of the faculty, proud parents and friends, distinguished guests, and above all, you, dear graduates. It's my great pleasure, on behalf of the Rector of the Warsaw University of Life Sciences, Professor Michał Zasada, to be talking to you in such a special occasion. First and foremost, graduates, congratulations. You have excelled, adapted, worked hard, and innovated through the especially difficult times we have faced. But it's during difficult times that we often learned very valuable lessons. We can use these lessons to learn during the pandemic to help guide us going on forward. 5.5 years is not a long time, but it's long enough to help us realize our strength and our weaknesses to become individuals as you are today. Years of smiles and tears, glory and hardship, full of the heat of crowded classes and the cold of homesickness in the rainy days. Dear students, you have received all necessary experience to enter the veterinary profession with confidence. The Warsaw University of Life Science, especially the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, diplomas you are going to claim today stand for the quality and for the best veterinary faculty in Poland, also accredited faculty by European Accreditation Commission. Our academics have shared the knowledge, sparked your curiosity, and broadened your horizons. They are dedicated researchers and educators, and the best in their fields. They, just like you, adapt, work hard, and innovated. They went to great length to ensure that your education was the best it could be. They have shown you the importance of having high standards and dedication to purpose for everything that you do. I believe it's time to thank them for all the efforts. One of the most famous sayings on the value of education is the one spoken by Nelson Mandela. Education, he said, is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So please use it. Use it in the best possible way. You have provided theoretical knowledge, you've been provided theoretical knowledge and practical skills to handle wide variety of health, welfare, and management problems concerning farm and companion animals, as well as to contribute to protection of the public health. Today you are ready to face and manage the professional challenges you will encounter throughout future career. I salute your success and I wish you all the best on your professional but also private journey. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Rector. Thank you for the lovely speech. Let's listen a few words from the representative of IMS, Mrs. Margita Kupkova.
Dear Vice Rector, dear Dean, and members of the Academic Society. Dear graduates, the world looked different at the time you started your studies. Over the past 2 years, we have faced the most serious pandemic the world has experienced in a century. It caused suffering and economic and social tension across the globe. When we hoped that the worst was over and the world started to consolidate, even more serious and brutal acts started to take place just across the border. The basic principles of democracy were attacked by a nation who we thought shared our values. The most hideous crimes are conducted next door by people who we would have never suspected. Instead of preparing for graduation and celebrating this day, an entire generation of students are forced to take up arms to protect their country and their very own lives. Some will never come back. This is supposed to be one of the happiest days of your life. Instead, I suspect that for many of you, it is a relief. Relief because your families had to sacrifice more than ever before to make sure you are able to finish your studies. Relief because in these difficult times, you can finally go back home to your loved ones and be close to them. You can embrace them when you feel lonely or scared. For many others, this is a privilege they do not have. Allow me one plea. Fight the darkness coming over our society by showing kindness and compassion on every occasion you have. Do not let your fears win you over, and always stand on the side of humanity. Finally, I also have one wish for you. May you live peaceful, happy, and long lives. May your dreams come true. May this world not break you, and may you always look into the mirror with your head held high. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask Professor Bangura to share a few words.
Mrs. Rector, Mr. Dean, High Council, ladies and gentlemen, dear graduates, there are two most important days of life of the academic community. One of them, opening of the new academic year, you left behind. And now you reached the second one, graduation day. You have been waiting for this moment for a very long time. I know that you can't wait to grab your diplomas and run to see your first patients. But I hope that you did not make any appointments for today. Because where is a graduation ceremony, there must be a speech. Don't worry, I'm going to make it as short as possible. Graduation is such an important milestone for graduates, their families, and I congratulate you all on your achievement. The completion of your degree is a great personal accomplishment. It is also a milestone shared by parents, siblings, and friends who contributed to your success. Staff are also proud of your achievement and wish you well in your chosen career as you leave Warsaw University of Life Sciences as our valued ambassadors. Well, we did it. You did it. You accomplished one of the major early milestones of your lives, university graduation. This is a major step in the journey of your lives, one that should be recognized for its immense significance. It is an act not only of personal commitment, but also one of pride. We all worked hard to get to this day. Well, sometimes we, teachers, worked even harder than you. And our work did not go to waste. A university diploma is a powerful tool in this world, one that opens many doors of opportunity for anyone who is lucky enough to have one. But graduation is not an end goal in itself. It is instead a part of the larger journey of life. Wherever your future takes, let it take you somewhere. Life is a journey, and all accomplishments we achieve during its course should be taken as a starting point for further achievements. Your graduation should serve as such a launching point for your professional career. Life is a journey. We don't stop growing once we get our diplomas, and your profession, our profession, gives each of you new opportunities to continue growing and learn new skills that you will carry with you for the rest of your lives. This graduation has already shown how capable you all are of accomplishing your goals when you commit yourselves to them. I hope all of us here today can take this personal accomplishment as an example of how anything is truly possible when we put our minds on it. Dear graduates, just do it. Take each new problem on with confidence, knowing that you have achieved great heights and are well equipped with the necessary tools to tackle your future. The road that lies ahead won't be easy. There will be obstacles and missed exits, potholes and roadblocks. There will be time when each of you will feel like he or she cannot possibly go on. There will be times when each of you will think he or she is alone, backed against the wall, but you are not alone. You are all in this journey together. We have made it this far. You have made it this far. Why should you back out now? Nothing worthwhile is easy, and that includes making the most out of your futures. But just do it. Keep pushing, because we know you can achieve your dreams and because you are worth it. This is what you have to do. You have to find out what makes you get up in the morning and want to run to work. You have to find out for yourself where the motivation comes from for those long hours and hard work that somehow is fun. There are many career paths you can choose in this profession. Primary care of animals is where many of you will start, and change is where many of you are headed. Learning new skills will be necessary, and hard work to keep up with the profession, and you will carry on your shoulders great responsibilities. As Dr. Gerhard Schurig, former Dean of the Virginia Maryland College of Veterinary Medicine, said, "Matters of life and death will be in your hands. Matters of public health will be in your hands. Every day you will make decisions that will change the lives of both people and animals. From this day forward, make each decision with your best interest in mind. Believe in yourselves so that you may reach your goals and fulfill your dreams. Be the best that you can be so that you may fill out your lives and the lives of those closest to you with happiness and with pride. You have already taken the first step by making it to this ceremony today. Now, it is time to take the next steps in the journey that is your lives, and begin to build your futures. Just do it. Well, how do you know you took the right path? If before falling asleep, you ask yourself 2 questions. Did I learn anything? Did I have fun today? And both answers are yes, it means you have made a good choice. I hope you enjoyed your stay in Warsaw, and remember, although you come from many different countries, Warsaw University of Life Sciences always will be your university. Faculty of Veterinary Medicine always will be your faculty. And you always will be welcomed on our campus. Congratulations to the class of 2022. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your nice words. And now I would like Vice Dean, Professor Jackowska-Tracz, to take the floor and to take your oath.
Mrs. Rector, dear graduate students, in a few moments you will take the oath. Taking this oath will entitle us to call you doctors. These words, which you are going to say, are supposed to be an ethical roadmap in your professional life. These words, which we, the teachers,
Here every day, and which you will utter solemnly today in the presence of the Rector's authorities, us, your teachers, and your loved ones, awaken in our hearts the feeling that the way we act matters, and individual actions matters. The way we relate to others matters. But difficult decisions will await you, and not only in your professional lives. So what advice can we, your teachers, give you today? What words can we say to take you out into the world with them? There is nothing left for us to do but to turn to literature for inspirations. Antoni Słonimski, a Polish poet, wrote, "If you do not know how to behave, behave decently." This is a timeless advice, especially since wise people are usually full of doubts. Only fools don't have them. Dear students, I wish you to act both in your professional and private lives in such a way that when you look in the mirror at night, you can say, "I acted decently." What else? Develop your passions. Follow your instincts. Don't waste time living the lives of others. Live your own life. Take care of your spirituality. Remember that everything you need for happiness is already inside you. You just have to find it. And remember, the journey inside yourself is the most beautiful journey. And now, I will ask you to stand up. Dear students, these are the words, the first words as you embark on a new stage of your life. Don't hesitate to speak out loud. This is your time. Celebrate it. And now, please repeat after me. As a veterinary surgeon, following my vocation, I solemnly swear to practice my profession conscientiously in accordance with the established veterinary knowledge, to maintain the dignity of the profession, to contribute to the advancement of the veterinary sciences, and to perform my duties in keeping with legal provisions and the principles of the Code of Ethics for Veterinary Surgeons. Thank you. Now you are a doctors of veterinary sciences. Congratulations.
And now the awarding of congratulatory letters will take place. Please be seated.
Let's start with diploma with distinctions. We have 11 of them. Orla Ford,
Thank
Anika Jekyll, Pila McLean, Martina Nordgren, oh, those are all diploma with distinction. Mary Rodwald, diploma with distinction. Joanna Śmich, diploma with distinction. Emily Stackmeyer, diploma with distinction. Christina Starheim, diploma with distinction. Yonin Tan, diploma with distinction. Ma'ayan Ifrah, diploma with distinction. Paula Zdanowicz, diploma with distinction. Amelia Arnold. Paris Brooks. Tara Fahy. Marianna Figurska, Prudence Gabriel, Catherine Hammond, Eva Hogan, Christopher Johnston, Sarah Jonsson, Lisha Kennedy, Yvonne Kitt, Quarantine de Tougleb, Tegan Lloyd, Molly McLean, Roisin McGrath, Helen McKennedy, Melina Mignon, Andrea Moen, Kira O'Brien, Florence O'Toole, Quiva Phillips, James Rowan, Kira Rowe, Kira Ryan, Leah Ryan, Jack Sheehy, Jeffrey Shuttle, Thea Strowik. Jen May Diaz. Fiona Warwick. Mei Feng Woon. Hannah York. Lisa Zukowicz. Thank you. Bravo for all of you.
And now it's a time for the press. Today you are celebrities, so you will meet with paparazzi. And now I would like Vice Rector Mender to speak once more, but this time as the teacher chosen by students.
Dear Dean, dear guests, and of course, you, dear graduates. Well, as the Dean already said, maybe some of you need some short explanation why it's me again bothering you here today. So I was pleasured, it is my pleasure to be Rector's delegate, and I was given the chance to hold his speech on his behalf. So that was the official one. But it is my great pleasure, and I'm really honored to be asked by students to act and speak on behalf of all teachers, as I am, and I hope to continue as a teacher primarily. As you all know, we got to know each other in a relatively difficult time, I would say. And I'm so happy that we have a chance to meet today face to face. For some of you, my face might even look a little bit strange today, I'm afraid, because we know each other from short videos or online lectures. I guess even some of your parents may know me from short videos, which I remember to record at the very beginning of pandemic, just to make sure that you know you are safe and we take care of you. So it was me, and we managed. So I think it wasn't that bad. I think after this difficult time, you simply deserve this beautiful ceremony, as every graduate, but you even more. And also thanks for great support I received from you, and I believe it's really what all teachers could say. We managed together. But today, I would like to focus on wishes and sharing with you some positive feelings. So, as many of you know probably, I really love flowers. I love plants. I believe in plant magic and symbolic. So I would like to offer you a bunch of flowers, meaning every flower is very special. But it would be so many, so probably easier would it be to take you to such a beautiful meadow where you can find whatever you need and what is for you most important. But still it is difficult. Even with this beautiful sun today, I don't think we have so much time to go for a walk. So I decided to play differently. And as you also know from my lectures, I like to play. So are you ready for a Kahoot maybe today? I'll give you a PIN number and we'll see ABCD. Or we do it differently. I will tell you some magic words which I find very important for life, also for your profession, and we will see how we will end up with this one. So let's start with the first one. You have already confirmed you are open people, open-minded. You decided some years ago to start this adventure, but I wish you to keep being open, open for challenges, for chances that you will face certainly in the near and further future. Then I think we should move to patience. It is also a useful attitude, I believe, for each other, but also for our patients, which are very different. And sometimes it takes time to understand what they like to tell us or what they like not to tell us to make our life even more difficult. I wish you wisdom. You obtained so much knowledge, but now you need to make use of it in a wise way. So I think wisdom is one of the most important attitudes. I wish you curiosity. That's why you are here today, I believe, because you were curious how would it be to become a vet. And this attitude should help you with long life learning, which I believe is the pathway that you just start today. You don't finish actually studying, you will just do it differently, on your own way. You will find your pathway, and curiosity is necessary to continue. I wish you optimism. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult, very tough. But if you stay as optimistic, as smiley as you are today, I'm sure you will be succeed. And joy. So this is something that we need so much every day. In any type of activity we perform and we start. And kindness. I wish you kind people around. I hope you stay as kind as you are. And this nice feeling will surround you. So what's the magic word? It's passion. And this is, I think, what I wish you the most. Today, you become veterinary doctors. But I would also like you to remember that you also start a new profession. You start a new profession of the Warsaw University Life Science Ambassador as alumni. So please remember us. Come back whenever you need. We are always available, waiting for your contacts. And today, enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you once again for a nice speech. And now a speech from the students' representative, Ms. Flory O'Toole.
Thank you, Mrs. Rector, Mr. Dean, members of faculty, and distinguished guests. In such times as the ones we find ourselves in, I think it is important to celebrate our achievements even more than ever. At the same time, it is important to remember and to thank those who have helped us to this moment. Therefore, it is in thanks on behalf of our year that I would like to begin this speech. Thank you to the Rector, Vice-Rector, and all Deans and members of faculty. Thank you to the professors, doctors, and lecturers who have so patiently imparted their knowledge and skills to us over the 6 years of our study. Thank you to the office staff for taking every curveball we have thrown at them over the years and for not being shy about sending them back. All the people working today to make our graduation special, thank you. Thank you to the year representatives for every hour upon hour spent trying to stitch together a schedule for us. And also to the graduation committee, without whom, much more literally, we would not be here today. Thank you to IMS for their welcome, sponsorship, and graduation gifts. Thank you to Professor Gajewski for showing us just how tight the space the inside of an otherwise roomy cow might be. Thank you to our class dogs, who so patiently lent their wagging tails and faithful bodies to us in the name of science. Thank you to everyone here who came to celebrate our day with us, and to those who could not. Thank you to everyone we started this journey with, who are no longer with us, but whom we shall always carry in our hearts. Thank you to every "how's college going?" and every "you can do it." Everyone who pressed money into our hands on the way out the door for pints, or who held us in their thoughts, or their hopes, or their prayers. For every wave goodbye and every welcome back, we are grateful. Lastly, we must thank each other. I am not alone in saying that I would not be here without you. We gather today for the very last time as a team made up of strong minds and creative thinkers, of arguments and ceasefires, of good morning hugs and for God's sake nobody touch me's. We all have known the pain of things not always going as planned, and the comfort of those glorious 5 words that every student loves to hear. I haven't started yet either. A lot like white blood cells, we have had different roots and identities, but ultimately we have had the same goal. one which as an individual none of us could have achieved. I want to highlight the importance of the people around us in this way because none of us are immune to stress. We are about to enter a profession which is renowned for being stressful. This brings with it a set of challenges that some of us will face which aren't always visible. Geez, Flora, this is getting a bit heavy for a celebration, but no, I want to take this opportunity to say what I'm about to say. We will walk out of this room today and we will no longer be a team. But you have to know that that does not mean that you're walking out of this room alone. No matter how much time passes or where life takes you, there are others in this room you can call for help or to catch up or to chat with. And if anyone sat there looking around thinking, sure, I don't think there's anyone I'd have that kind of conversation with, sorry. There will always be me. I know that there are many in this room to whom I could do the same. We're not vets. We're doctors. We have the whole world at our feet and so many avenues we can take. And I don't know about you, but I am so excited to see where we end up. How all of those best laid plans are going to change and twist and weave as we continue to broaden our knowledge of the world and our fields. If you can do one thing, pursue happiness over anything else. And if I could give you just one piece of very powerful advice, given to us many times in our first year: don't eat, don't sleep, don't cheat, and don't sex. And if you do all of those things well, everything will turn out just fine. I want to end by saying that I am so, so proud of each and every one of us, because we've made it, we've done it, and we've won.
Thank you very much. And now it's time for the graduation lecture on parvoviruses, which will be given by Professor Banyboura.
Before I start, I would like to say that it is a great honor to me that you have chosen me as today's lecturer. I feel really honored. Thank you so much. Mrs. Rector, Mr. Dean, High Council, dear graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at our pandemic world, there is no doubt that viruses may change the course of history. It is obvious that one of the most important for the mankind is now SARS-CoV-2. But, on the other hand, there are many other viruses present in our lives, and the parvoviruses are among them. And you, as vets, I'm absolutely positive you will encounter them while practicing veterinary medicine. Their role as pathogens is usually underestimated, but they also have an impact on human and animal health and welfare. Let's take a closer look at this interesting family. By the way, every family of viruses is interesting, so it is pointless to stress it so much. Before I start my lecture, I would like to show you one. It looks exactly like this, but it is much, much smaller, so we cannot see it with the naked eye, even using microscope. It also has a piece of nucleic acid inside, which carries a genetic information. So that's it. A small molecule, a small piece of protein with a nucleic acid inside, nothing more. Oops, sorry. Jak to cofnąć? Sorry. Too far. Okay. When we look around at the in the surrounding world and very different life forms, we can see that all these living organisms are ruled by one molecule, a molecule of life, DNA. But if we compare living organisms with viruses, we can easily see that the viruses have many more possibilities of encoding their genetic information. It includes double-stranded DNA, single-stranded DNA, double-stranded RNA, single-stranded RNA of positive and negative sense, and two different RNA and DNA viruses which use reverse transcriptase for their replication. We are interested today with single-stranded DNA parvoviruses. Their genome is very simple. It's only 5,000 bases with 2 terminal repeats and only 2 genes, Rep and Cap. Rep gene encodes proteins which are necessary for genome replication, whereas Cap gene encodes for structural proteins. And genome has 2 terminal loops on both ends. In this family, we have 26 genera and over 120 species of viruses. And this is not the biggest family in the kingdom of viruses. They are naked, they don't have any additional structures, like envelope, for example. They are icosahedral in their symmetry and size approximately up to 26 nanometers in diameter. So they are really small because parvus in Latin language means small. Autonomic viruses, autonomic means viruses which can replicate on their own. They have DNA of negative sense, what means that transcription from this DNA gives us messenger RNA, which is necessary for translation and protein synthesis. But there is a group of parvoviruses, which we call dependoviruses, which replication is somehow impaired, and they cannot replicate on their own, and they require for their replication help of other viruses, such as adenoviruses or herpes viruses. That's why they are called dependoviruses, because their replication depends on the presence of different viruses, a kind of symbiosis between different viruses. They infect many different species of animals, including humans and other primates, ruminants, bats, cats, dogs, raccoons, mink, rodents, snakes, shrimps, and even insects. Of course, only a few of them are important from our point of view, from the point of view of veterinary medicine. And among them we have human parvovirus B19, canine parvovirus type 2, porcine parvovirus, Aleutian mink disease parvovirus, feline parvovirus, and parvovirus which infects shrimp. Let's start from the human B19 parvovirus. It causes erythema contagiosum disease, or this disease is also called fifth disease. The virus infects hematopoietic cells. Therefore, this infection leads to some anemia, some kind of anemia. And the clinical manifestation of the infection is cheek and body rash on the left picture, or so-called slapped cheek rash. And the disease is most common among children. But of course, the virus infects humans at all ages. And the symptoms are fever, high fever, headache, runny nose, joint pain and inflammation. This inflammation of joints comes from the deposition of immune complexes which are formed by antibodies reacting with the viral antigen. And these immunocomplexes are deposited in the joints. It is also facial rash and general body aches. In pregnant women, this virus may cause abortion, congenital anomalies, and hydrops. Canine parvoviruses, they rapidly destroy epithelial cells of the mucosal membrane of the gut. So it completely stops resorption of water and any nutrients which are present in the gut. And the result of this infection is bloody diarrhea, heavy dehydration, nausea, vomiting, and weakness. Weakness is a result of water and electrolytes loss. If we don't treat this infection, it is practically deadly, especially for puppies and older animals. So the most important thing is to provide rehydration and electrolytes. On the left picture, we see a hemorrhagic enteritis, which is an anatomopathological picture of the infection. And these pale areas seen on the heart muscle is a sign of myocarditis. Sometimes bloody diarrhea may be really very heavy. This poor animal, if untreated, would obviously die. Parvoviral infection in pigs cause serious and heavy reproduction disorders called SMEDI or SMEDI, death of fetuses or abortions. Especially that this parvovirus shows tropism toward embryonic and fetal tissues, and during the earlier period of pregnancy, when embryos are infected, usually they are resorbed by the uterus, by the soul. But older ones show, as you can see on this picture, more and less pronounced damage to the fetuses, usually accompanied by death or stillbirths. That's why this syndrome is called SMEDI: stillbirths, mummification, embryonic death, and infertility. Feline parvoviruses infect and rapidly kill proliferating and rapidly dividing cells, especially in the bone marrow and in the intestine. Of course, the fetuses also may be infected. This damage to the bone marrow leads to the and lymph nodes leads to the panleukopenia, which is a shortage in all types of white cells, and this subsequently causes an immunosuppression in the infected cat. And the signs of the infection are diarrhea, vomiting, general pain and weakness, and heavy dehydration. It is also accompanied by high fever, anorexia, and infected animals become a kind of lethargic. Aleutian disease virus usually causes chronic infections, so animals which become just after infection become asymptomatic carriers, they can shed the virus into the environment without any signs. So we may even not know that the farm is affected by the Aleutian mink disease, especially that in a small area of the farm there are thousands of animals, and the contact among animals is very, very close, so it's really easy to pass the virus from one animal to another one. It's a chronic and wasting disease which also affects reproduction abilities of the mink and increases mortality of animals. During autopsy, we can observe pale kidneys with the pitted capsule, and very, very characteristic, very typical for the disease, a picture of the liver. Also, glomerulonephritis is observed, and it leads to the renal disorders and dehydration of infected animals. In the more advanced cases, the spleen, this red structure here is a spleen, is markedly enlarged, and kidneys are also, because of this glomerulonephritis, are also damaged, and the carcasses are dehydrated. Well, even shrimp, either coming from the shrimp farms or which can be found in the open sea, they can be infected with hepatopancreatic parvovirus, and the most striking symptom is atrophy of, it's a poor growth rate. So these two shrimps are at the same age, and it is quite obvious that the right one was infected with the hepatopancreatic parvovirus. What is interesting, activity of the shrimp is reduced, so is preening activity reduced, and it leads to the development. The gills are not cleaned enough by the shrimp, what leads to what predisposes them to infection with some other organisms. Well, diagnosis. Usually clinical signs, clinical symptoms are quite obvious, but we can use either PCR for viral DNA detection or serological tests such as ELISA or immunofluorescence. Prevention, practically prevention is limited to only to dogs, pigs and cats, because against these parvoviruses we have quite effective vaccines, so animals can be vaccinated. I can't imagine how shrimps could be vaccinated. It would be quite difficult. Any ideas? Well, at the end, quite interesting issue. Dependoviruses. Viruses in general they infect the cell and destroy it. However, the pentoviruses are quite different because they can be used as a cure for certain diseases. It sounds kind of weird. Viruses that cure. But if we take a closer look at the pentoviruses, we can see that they can be used as a vector in gene therapy. Usually for this purpose are used retroviruses, but the pentoviruses, as you probably remember, are not able to complete their replication cycle in the cell. However, they start replicating, but they cannot finish it. During viral genome replication, single-stranded DNA forms a replicative intermediate form, which is called dimer duplex, and it is in a form of double-stranded DNA. And if the parvovirus cannot complete its replication cycle, this double-stranded DNA, this dimer duplex, is incorporated into the genome of the host. So, if we insert in such dimer duplex, if we insert a therapeutic gene which is used in gene therapy, for example, we would like to cure some genetic disease in which one of the genes of the host is not working. So we can repair it by inserting this therapeutic gene into the dimer duplex of parvovirus, and it will be inserted, this therapeutic gene will be inserted and integrated with the host DNA, and the therapeutic gene will be expressed. Therefore, the genetic disorder of the patient will be cured. Well, I think that's all for today. I hope that it was not boring for you, and we thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bandura, for your fascinating lecture. So far, I haven't even realized how difficult it is to be a shrimp. So, I hereby declare the ceremony closed, at the same time expressing my sincere thanks to the academic choir of our university. At the end of our ceremony, the choir will perform Gaude Amus. Everyone, please rise. Thank you once again.